Hello, welcome to Astronautics for Exploit. This is Dr. Ayoshola Ogundele. Small satellite launch service providers and brokers. The focus points of my presentation are as follows: small satellite launchers, small satellite launch providers, and small satellite launch brokers. The small satellite industry, an industry ushering in a new era of space capabilities, is a stimulant of the new space economy, an economy based on ideas and business plans about space and envisaged to become the next trillion-dollar industry by the year 2040. This industry is expanding humans' knowledge and understanding of the composition of space and its abundant raw natural resources. High increase in demand of small satellites is necessitating the need to develop small satellite launchers capable of meeting the current market demand. Presently, efforts are being directed by the new space companies such as SpaceX, Virgin Orbit, Blue Origin, and a host of others to design and develop agile, less costly, and state-of-the-art small satellite launch vehicles with capabilities to propel human curiosity about space into an up-to-the-minute height. Small satellite ride sharing, a unique launch service that lets multiple small satellite owners and operators share space, is becoming increasingly routine with spaceflight and SpaceX dedicated rideshare missions. This type of satellite launching approach limits a small satellite to a limited set of orbits. A small satellite launch company launches small satellite designed for various purposes, such as Earth observation, communications, research, and a host of others. There are several small satellite launch providers that have developed and are still developing capabilities and missions to launch small satellites. Examples are Rocket Lab, Virgin Orbit, Astra Space, Firefly Aerospace, Relativity Space, Vanton Space, ABL Space System, Blue Origin, United Launch Alliance, Northrop Grumman, and SpaceX. Small satellite launch brokers, companies that provide small satellite rideshare services, satellite broker solutions, and mission management services are also on the rise. Examples are Precious Payload, Spaceflight Industries, Astrios, and Nanoracks. Some of the services provided by the small satellite launch brokers are streamlining of customers' launch experience by taking care of launch brokerage and affiliated services such as manufacturing, licensing, insurance, transport and customs, deployer, ground station, and debris surveillance. Small satellite launch. Small satellite, which is satellite with small mass and size, is gaining tremendous attention and usage based on its numerous advantages such as cost reduction and easy assemblage. This picture shows Virgin Orbit Launcher 1, which was designed to place more than 400 kilograms of satellite into Earth orbit, including 200 kilograms into sun-synchronous orbit. Small satellite launch vehicles. Small satellites offer many advantages over their larger counterparts. Small satellites have a lower cost of manufacturing and can be mass-produced more easily. Lower launch cost. Because small satellites can be launched in groups called swarms or as constellation, then they have a lower launch cost as well. This picture shows artist rendition of RM64. Small satellite launchers. There are various launchers of small satellites that have been designed and also developed so as to be able to launch small satellites. Small satellite launch vehicles. A small satellite launcher, also known as a small lift launch vehicle, is a class of rocket which can launch small satellites. Small satellite launch vehicle can launch up to 2,000 kilograms into a low Earth orbit. This picture shows artist's illustration of Phantom Space rocket, which the company aims to start flying in 2023. High increase in demand of small satellites is necessitating the need to develop small satellite launchers capable of meeting the current market demand. Small launch vehicle cost. In terms of cost, using small satellite launchers help to reduce launching costs. This picture shows PLD Space Future Small Satellite Launcher. Small satellite ride sharing, unique launch service. Small satellite ride sharing, a unique launch service that lets multiple small satellite owners and operators share space, is becoming increasingly routine with spaceflight and SpaceX dedicated rideshare missions. Rideshare limitation. This type of satellite launching approach limits a small satellite to a limited set of orbits. This picture shows small satellite reusable launchers. Small satellite launch providers. There are a number of companies that are providing or intending to provide launch services for small satellites. Launch service provider, specialized launch companies. A launch service provider is a space company that specializes in launching spacecraft. Small satellite launch companies. A small satellite launch company launches small satellite designed for various purposes such as Earth observation, communications, research, and a host of others. This picture shows Astra rocket upper stage. Small satellite launch providers examples are as follows: Rocket Lab, Virgin Orbit, Astra Space, Firefly Aerospace, Relativity Space, Vatom Space, SpaceX, ABL Space Systems, Northrop Grumman, United Launch Alliance, and Blue Origin. Rocket Lab. Currently, Rocket Lab is operating lightweight electron orbital rockets and providing dedicated launches for small satellites. Neutron reusable rocket. Rocket Lab is developing bigger neutron reusable unibody rocket, Photon satellite buses, and Rutherford Curie Archimedes rocket engines. This picture shows a Rocket Lab Electron rocket. Rocket Lab Electron is a two-stage, partially recoverable orbital launch vehicle developed by Rocket Lab to service the commercial small satellite launch market. The first rocket was launched on 25th May 2017 in a flight called is a test. The second flight of 21st January 2018 reached orbit and deployed 3 CubeSats in a mission called still testing. The third launch occurred on 11th November 2018 in a mission called is business time. This picture shows a Rocket Lab Electron booster carrying satellites ahead of the Don't Stop Me Now mission launching on June 11, 2020. Virgin Orbit is another small satellite launch provider. Virgin Orbit is a company within the Virgin Group which provides launch services for small satellites. The company was formed in 2017 to develop air-launched Launcher 1 rocket launched from Cosmic Girl. On January 17, 2021, Virgin Orbit Launcher 1 successfully reached orbit and deployed 10 CubeSats. This picture shows Virgin Orbit Launcher 1 in preparation for launching. Virgin Orbit Launcher 1, a two-stage orbital launch vehicle and an air-launched rocket, combines proven technology with state-of-the-art manufacturing techniques to propel human curiosity. Launcher 1 capability. Launcher 1 has the capability to carry small satellite payloads of up to 300 kilograms into sun-synchronous orbit, following air launch from a carrier aircraft at high altitude. This picture shows Virgin Orbit's Cosmic Girl and Launcher 1 after rocket separation. Astra Space is another small satellite launch provider. It has air launch capability. Astra helps customers to utilize low-cost access to space by providing innovative CubeSat, sensors, and subsystems, engineering robust CubeSat system designs, and in-depth mission analysis to ensure mission success. Astra Space is a small satellite launch company. On March 15, 2022, Astra launched 16 tiny satellites for Swarm Technologies. This picture shows March 15, 2022 launch of Astra's Rocket 3.3, carrying 16 Space B satellites for Swarm Technologies. Firefly Aerospace is another small satellite launch provider. Firefly Aerospace provides launch vehicles, spacecraft, and in-space services for small payloads. Firefly Avo vehicle is an expendable launch vehicle with capacity of 1,000 kilograms payload to low Earth orbit and 600 kilograms to sun-synchronous orbit. Projected launch cost is about $15 million per launch. This picture shows Firefly Alpha lifting off the pad at the launching base on September 2, 2021. Relativity Space is another small satellite launch provider. Relativity Space is developing manufacturing technologies, 3D printed launch vehicles, and rocket engines for commercial orbital launch services. Relativity Space is into a contract with Spaceflight Industries, a satellite rideshare and mission management provider, to launch spaceflight's dedicated small satellite rideshares. This picture shows concept of Relativity Space launch vehicle. Vantom Space is another small satellite launch provider. Vantom is developing the next generation space transportation to make space commerce commonplace. Mass-manufactured rocket. The Phantom Space has a plan to launch small payloads frequently and cost-effectively using mass-manufactured rockets. This picture shows concept of Phantom Space launch vehicle. Northrop Grumman is another small satellite launch provider. It is developing new space technology for small satellite launches. Pegasus rocket. The three-stage Pegasus rocket is used to deploy small satellites weighing up to 1,000 pounds into low Earth orbit. Pegasus typically delivers satellites into orbit in a little over 10 minutes. This picture shows Northrop Grumman Innovation Systems, formerly known as Orbital ATK, launch system for lowering the cost of its Pegasus rocket in an effort to be competitive with the growing number of small launch vehicle startups. United Launch Alliance is another small satellite launch provider. United Launch Alliance is a spacecraft launch service provider that manufactures and operates rocket vehicles that are capable of launching spacecraft into orbit around Earth and to other bodies in the solar system. The company is working on adding University CubeSat slots to nearly every Atlas and Vulcan Centaur launch, with potential for 100 rides per year. This picture shows NASA's Juno planetary probe, including its payload fairing, launched atop a United Launch Alliance Atlas V rocket. SpaceX is another provider of small satellite launch. SpaceX has dedicated ride-share launching capabilities for small satellites called SmallSat Ride-Share Program using Falcon 9 rocket. Starlink, a small satellite network developed by SpaceX, is aimed at providing low-cost internet to remote locations. SpaceX hopes to have as many as 42,000 satellites in the mega constellation. This picture shows launching of Falcon 9 rocket for transported 3 small satellite ride-share mission of 105 small satellites. Blue Origin is another small satellite launch provider. Blue Origin is developing small satellite launching capabilities using its New Glenn. Blue Origin New Glenn has been selected for 12 launches with options for up to 15 additional launches to deploy Amazon's Project Kuiper satellite constellation, a constellation of small satellites. This picture shows Blue Origin New Glenn. ABL Space Systems is another small satellite launch provider. ABL Space Systems, small launch vehicle developer, is undertaking launch vehicle and launch system technology development using CNC and 3D printing and minimized launch operations. ABL Space Systems is joining small satellite launch market with growing number of contracts of launching small satellites. This picture shows ABL Space Systems rocket. Small satellite launch brokers. Some companies specialize on brokerage of small satellite launching. So examples of small satellite launch brokers are Precious Payload Inc., Spaceflight Industries Incorporation, Astrios, and Nanorax. Precious Payload Inc. Precious Payload is an online launch booking system for small satellites. The company partners with insurance companies and grant segment providers to offer value-added solutions for satellite operators and to make finding a launch to space easy and transparent, reducing time to market. This picture shows Firefly's Alpha rocket launch of September 3, 2021. Precious Payload Incorporation. Through Payload Inc. building models, the customers can create a custom space mission. The company provides insurance brokerage for satellite projects from pre-launch to operation and orbit. This picture shows concept of Orbit small satellite launch vehicle. Spaceflight Industries is another small satellite launch broker. Spaceflight Industry Incorporation specializes in the launch of secondary payloads ranging from 1 kg up to 300 kg microsatellites from a variety of space launch vehicles such as Antares, Dnepr, Soyuz, and Falcon 9, as well as from the International Space Station. This picture shows launcher's small launch vehicle. Spaceflight provides end-to-end mission management services so as to ensure that customers' mission is on time and budget. Interactive tool. Customers can use Spaceflight interactive tool to search dozens of launches and reserve the one that is right for them. This picture shows Virgin Orbit's Launcher 1, a two-stage expendable rocket that launches from a dedicated 747-400 carrier aircraft, reversed to as Cosmic Girl. Astrios is another small satellite launch broker. Astrios proposes services to small satellite constructors and operators. From factory to orbit, the company streamlines customers' launch experience by taking care of launch brokerage and affiliated services such as manufacturing, licensing, insurance, transport and customs, deployer, ground station and debris surveillance. This picture shows artist rendition of Pierre Space Ariane 2 reusable launcher for small sats. From compulsory to dedicated insurance, Astrios protects customers' assets at the best rate in the shortest time. Transportation and integration. Wherever the customer may be in the world, the company takes care of all the logistics so that the satellite is delivered safely and rapidly. The company has the expertise to easily and successfully integrate customer satellite on any launcher available. This picture shows Gavi spacecraft Prospector 18 lifting off with a payload of CubeSats. NanoRacks is another small satellite launch broadcast. NanoRacks broadcast launch on any vehicle across the world. The company's world-renowned mission management service is consistently regarded as the most customer-focused team. Customer satellites are launched on a SpaceX Falcon 9 rideshare, India's PSLV, or other expendable launch vehicles. This picture shows Indian launch of 104 satellites in a single rocket launch. NanoRacks in-space platforms and customer-focused services are available to organizations of all types and sizes around the world. This picture shows SpaceX launching of Starlink satellites on Booster's 13th flight. For more information, contact Actonautic for exploits. You've been watching and listening to small satellite launch service providers and brokers presented by Dr. Anyashola Ogundele. Thank you.